What up, everybody? This is what kind of black nerd cast is this?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year 21.
We made it. We made it, baby.
We made it.
We are now in round 2 of 2020. Yeah, quite literally when the clock hit midnight, I said round 2. I'm like, oh, nothing bad's gonna happen. And
I did too.
I paused for a second, looked around, and waited for like some shit to happen. Like,
this here a random car crash or some shit.
Yep,
exactly. Just hear the missiles going off and shit. Like you hear the sirens from the purge. Like, right.
And then 6 days later, we had what happened in Washington. But we're not gonna talk about that. This is the episode 49. I am with the fellas this week.
If you're on Twitter, you can tweet us at our respective Twitters. But if you're not on Twitter,
you can tweet us. You can send us a Pinterest board. You can send us a Spotify thing. You can send us Instagrams.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you're on those. That's if you're on those platforms, though.
The fact that he's not able to get on TikTok after trying to get TikTok banned the entire year is the funniest.
I know they were waiting for that. Like, no.
They were running. They were running.
It's quite literally to the point that where if any account is supporting his like anything he wants to put out, they're removing him. And the apps too. Like Apple just came out and said if Breitbart doesn't take down some of their Trump stuff, they're gonna remove the Breitbart app. Like, oh, you niggas ain't playing no games. Okay, cool.
When the number one company in the world says you can't do something, you done messed up.
Yeah, he didn't make America great again. He got the House, the Senate, and the White House are all blue, and now every app wants to get rid of him. Yeah,
and he's let massive people know who are the racists in this country because everybody had their mask down. So thank you for exposing even more fools. So
niggas the avatar. But no, we're talking about good things in 2021. So I'm with the fellas. We're gonna talk about our top 5 movies and TV shows, or movie and or TV shows that you're looking forward to in this year. It's kind of
Trace Amigos on this episode. Trace Amigos.
Three Amigos.
The
women decided to take a night off. Shout out to La and Lou. You should check out their podcast as well on YouTube, which will be in the link description below. And then also on the podcast page as well for Spotify and all the listeners as well. But first I want to introduce my co-hosts. First off, Team Lloyd over here, old man Lloyd. We're gonna give it to Team Kayos over here. What's up, Kayos?
I'm not even gonna respond to that. What up, everybody?
It's your boy,
aka Kayos. Welcome to the best damn movie, comic book, TV show, some with social commentary and soapbox reviews, top 10s, you name it, we doing it. 2021, we taking over. Welcome to What Kind of Black Nerd Cast is this?
And also, last but not least, we have the old man River of the group, the man that has not been here for about 4 or 5 episodes, but he's here anyway in spirit.
Old man River.
The red bearded gentleman, the faced man, the red faced man. He's probably a Game of Thrones character. We have Zero here.
What's up, people? It is good to be back. Welcome to 2021. And I'm excited about what this podcast and all our affiliates and friends are going to do this year.
Yes.
Yeah, man, we ain't seen you since last year.
Really, literally.
That is true. Absolutely.
And of course, I am the beat maker of the group, the musician of the group, the Tom Hardy of this Inception group, if you will. You must be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. JayTezla, how y'all doing?
So that make me JGL or Leo?
I'm gonna give you JGL because that nigga is definitely Leo. Because I feel like you would do some kind of fuck up like that. No, I'm sorry. Zero is JGL. You are definitely Leo with your whole Yvette Nicole Brown shit. That's definitely
I'll take that.
Okay, so we're gonna get into this topic of top 5 2021 movies and TV shows you're looking forward to this year. So to be fair, I'm not gonna kick it off. I'm gonna actually have one of the guys go first. So Kayos, start it off, and then we'll just go around the clock. And
all right, So let me think. So a TV show that I'm really looking forward to in 2021 is the Batwoman on CW. I'm fucking with you. Nah,
I
couldn't
legit was about to say, holy hell, that would have been amazing.
Hey, same year, same petty, baby. The petty don't end. The petty don't end with the new year.
We are never gonna get liked by that show.
Now one of the TV shows I'm really looking forward to in 2021 is the third season of Atlanta on FX. If you haven't seen Atlanta, it is a show, especially if you're black, you need to see, because it is possibly one of the best representations of actual black culture that we have right now. And I don't mean that to where it's pandering. I mean that in the form like it really, especially in certain episodes, feels like you're just watching your friends and similar situations that you could possibly go to amped up to 11. If you're not familiar with the show, it's on FX. It's written, produced, and some episodes are directed by Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover. It has Brian Tyree Henry, which you're going to see later this year in The Eternals. It has Lakeith Stanfield, who you've seen in Get Out. Sorry to Bother You. It has Zazie Beetz, who you've seen in Joker. I mean, the cast is absolutely amazing. That's actually the fact that we're now in 2021 and we're just getting season 3, and they've been going since 2016, because the entire cast is booked and busy. But yeah, it's the first 2 seasons. They've only had 11 episodes. I say they're some of the tightest 11 episodes I've ever seen of a TV show, especially a half hour. Yeah, there you go. First one of this year. Um, it to me, as an old school sitcom fan, it is like the black representation of Curb Your Enthusiasm, almost like Seinfeld or Always Sunny in Philadelphia, amped up to the next level, to where you have characters who are just not just plain archetypes, but are people that are you can actually kind of relate to, and the situations they get into are hilarious. I have had multiple times watching this episodes and having to stop because I'm laughing so hard. It is bar none one of the funniest shows I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of TV shows. So I can't wait to see where they're going next, especially having, I think, 3 years off TV.
Yeah,
now?
And it'll be really interesting how much each of them are in the show altogether, just because of their shooting schedule. Like, especially with Brian Tyree Henry. I mean, this man has been shooting movies since Atlanta has come out. Like, I think consistently he's been the most busy out of the group. Like,
yeah, with multiple I think he's had the most projects, because he's had Hotel Artemis, he's had Chucky,
Joker.
Eternal. So there's a lot of stuff he's done. Zazie Beetz, she's been in, I think, like 2 or 3 like more indie films, and Joker, which is overrated. Lakeith has been in a lot of stuff. I still need to check out the film him and Issa Rae that came out over the summer. But he's been in a lot of stuff. And then Donald, I mean, the guy Simba, he's young Lando. He might be getting something hooked up with Marvel. So I mean, the guy he's taking on. Plus, we hopefully, because he said he would do it, are getting a Community film. We got the 6 seasons. We get in the movie, hopefully, because he agreed on the Zoom call they had earlier last year during the middle of the pandemic that he'd be ready to do a movie. So that's just waiting on Dan Harmon's schedule to open up from doing Rick and Morty. But Atlanta is something I might throw a watch party, since I can't throw a real party. I might throw a virtual watch party just for that.
Okay. I'll go next. My first thing I want to talk about that I'm excited for 2021 would be, and it's funny, I just did a live stream on this on my twitch.tv/JayTezla. I talked about so much. I would say I am excited for The King's Man, because for one, I love that series. I didn't think the second one was better than the first one, but
really,
I really didn't. I thought the first one was just different, and the second one felt like a repeat, and like it felt like a wash and repeat. It didn't feel like it went
I see
to do.
I didn't care for Julianne Moore, and I love Julianne Moore. I think she's one of the best actresses in the world right now and has been for over a decade. She's been a top 5 actress, but that just didn't fit her for me.
Plus, I kind of also figured that either Pedro Pascal or Channing Tatum's character were the villain, because there's no way you bring in either one of those two guys in and they're not something bigger. And then who knew after that?
Did that come out the same year as Pedro in The Equalizer? He was the double agent in that one too.
I think so. And the funny thing is, I didn't know how good of an actor Pedro was. I only seen him in Game of Thrones, and then come to find out he's the greatest Star Wars character to ever exist now.
We are in the age of the Pedro right now.
Yeah, the Pedro. But I'm looking forward to Kingsman because it's going to be a prequel movie. And it's a spinoff. It's not a direct to anything else. It deals with Rasputin's death, which if they're doing Rasputin's death, and if you've heard of how Rasputin died, if Kingsman can cover that, that's going to be really, really dope. And then I just found out Friday, they're already shooting a 4th Kingsman movie. It's going to be a sequel to the other 2.
Mm-hmm. Matthew Vaughn, I believe, has a deal with Netflix for like Umbrella Academy and a lot of his other shows. So I know that he's trying to really build his own universes now because he's a brand on his own. Like he has brands that can be their own thing without being connected to Disney or DC. So I mean, he's a legit brand right now.
It's kind of cool that, and I think Kingsman is one of those few movies that did this, that really broke the idea of you don't have to be Marvel or Disney. You can show other comic book films or series to that effect in media, and it succeeds. I think after Kingsman, we had Umbrella Academy, different series that have dropped since then. It's like, the Old Guard, all these kind of different kind of properties that have dropped, that have been independent properties that have done really, really well in the media, especially now with pretty much everything being streaming now. We'll see how that goes for a lot of movies that aren't HBO or Disney related. But I think Kingsman's gonna be really, really good. So 0.
It's on me.
Yes.
I'm I've been looking through a bunch of stuff. I just want to say something off the cuff. Just like you did with Kingsman, I had totally forgot that was supposed to be coming out. To be honest, what I'm excited about is, and I had a movie too. Damn, I forgot. Oh man, I should have been better prepared. I know.
Yeah, this is kind of like your last time you were on here.
Yeah. Well, I make this look good, so it is what it is. You know what? I'm actually really excited about the Mortal Kombat movie. I was trying to say something besides that because I know that's like prototypical for me. But I'm really excited about the Mortal Kombat movie. When I heard that they were actually doing a remake of it, I was super excited. We got James Wan who's directing. And that's Fast and Furious all day, as well as superhero genre with Aquaman. So it's in great hands, it's in really good hands. What else? You got a lot of good actors on it, actors and actresses. I think I was just talking with somebody. I was listening to something and they happened to be mentioning it. I think it might have been JayTezla.
Yeah. So I can't remember the actor's name off the top of my head, but the guy that was the black best friend in Supergirl is playing Jax.
Macabre.
Oh yeah,
which threw me the hell off because I'm like, he don't look shit like Jax, but okay.
Did you see the pictures for him in the movie?
He got Jack.
He got Jack for the movie.
Look, I'm still concerned with the idea of them doing a Mortal Kombat movie, especially with now that HBO is like, well, we're gonna say fuck this and release this on streaming, but then we're not gonna put it on streaming. Then we are, but then we aren't. So
that's what kind of makes me excited about it because I don't know what's going to happen with it, and I think it should be, for me as a fan, it should be a really good film.
Right.
I don't know how critics are going to take it, but I'm a huge fan of the series. I own the first one and the second one. I used to watch the cartoon as a kid.
Yeah.
I played pretty much every one of the Mortal Kombat games.
Oh yeah.
Even like the side games like Shaolin Monks, the Sub-Zero game.
I hated the Sub-Zero game with
the Sub-Zero game sucked balls, but yeah, like
that shit was bad. And that was one of the games where before, like the internet wasn't what it was now, so you didn't know what the game really was before.
No one did.
And then you bought it, and then about 20-30 minutes in,
luckily I rented it. I rented it, and I was like, whoa, this is not what I thought this was going to be.
But I do know James Wan is directing it, which that gives me more credence to actually. I'm sorry, he's producing it, which gives me more credence to actually like this film, because if he's bringing his horror background to Mortal Kombat, then this movie is going to be bloody. And
also, another thing they were talking about, they were doing fatalities, so I guess game appropriate fatalities are going to be it more than just like the signature phrase and a few of the things. Because technically, in the first one, they did actually in both of the movies, they did a lot of stuff that was right out of the video games.
Right.
But they're talking about doing fatalities, so
I hope they do the X-ray fatalities that they've done since X. Like if they just have like somebody just punch somebody and then the screen just cuts to the X-ray.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
The only thing I'm kind of worried about. I'm not worried, but like, cause I like the cast. I think Joe Taslim, who was in Warrior, which if you have not watched Warrior, please watch that show.
Yeah,
he's playing Sub-Zero, and you have Hiroku Sanada playing Scorpion, who if you don't know his work, shame on you.
Yeah, both are like really sick actors.
The only thing I'm interested in is who is Lewis Tan playing. Now, if you don't know who Lewis Tan is, Lewis Tan was in Iron Fist, and he started that whole argument of why isn't Iron Fist Asian, which
because he was the one that was he was basically the number one pick before they got what's his name?
Ludi Lin. Yeah.
I
mean, he looks like Liu Kang, so I'm not too worried about that. But I don't know who Lewis Tan's playing, and I'm hoping it's a bigger character that's coming later. If you're telling me he's Shao Kahn,
that'd be really interesting.
It'd be interesting, but the fans are gonna have an issue with it because Shao Kahn is like the Rock size. He's not a small dude.
So, or he could be playing Kung Lao. They could
Kung Lao's already on there. Max Hong is playing Kung Lao.
Oh, okay.
They have everyone. They have everyone pretty much from the first game pretty much casted. The only character I don't know is Natara,
and I don't see Goro either.
But that's probably just all CGI.
Yeah, I don't think.
Which actually, the first one was half CGI, half practical.
Oh, yeah,
that's what made him stand out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to figure out who the hell Natara is from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who she is. Okay. Do you remember the Mortal Kombat game that had the girl that was had bat wings
from Deception? Yeah,
her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, so that's who this girl is. I'm like, okay.
They went back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad. I mean, the fact that Ed Boon is being brought on this project helps it even better. So,
oh god, yeah. I just hope they don't try to rush. Like the Mortal Kombat series has progressively gotten better as a video game series from a narrative standpoint and a technical standpoint, obviously. But narratively, they have gotten so much better over the last 4 games. So I hope that with the movie, they don't try to jump the gun and like you basically have Quan Chi be the main villain. You know, like you want to work.
He could be Quan Chi.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. He could probably be Quan Chi.
That would be fucking dope.
Like if that's like an end credit thing, like to set him up like as a Thanos character, that's cool. But I don't like that's like we've said before, like when you introduce a property, you don't have to do the biggest thing first. You know, you can work up to it. Like Iron Man's first villain isn't Mandarin, it's Ironmonger. You know, it wasn't really about that. You know, they worked up to it. So I think I hope they follow that route and don't just jump the gun and make it bam. So by the second movie, you ran through like 3 or 4 games worth of storyline.
I agree.
All right.
Guess it recycles back to Kyle.
Yeah, right back to Chaos.
I'm gonna go with a movie next. My movie, first movie that I'm really excited for 2021 is Fast and Furious 9. I've admitted it before. This is the definition of a summer popcorn movie to where, especially now with the continuity, you can just turn your brain off and just enjoy it.
Too fast, too furious.
I've been a fan of this franchise since day one. I remember seeing the first Fast and Furious 20 years ago.
On day one.
Damn, I'm old. And loving it. And then loving Too Fast, Too Furious, which is actually my second favorite film in the entire franchise still.
Just because they couldn't get Vin Diesel to do the second movie.
And I think it benefited from that because honestly, I'm not a big Vin Diesel fan and I'm not a big Dominic Toretto fan. Family. Like, no, dude, come on. Like clear the marbles out of your fucking soul.
So
but yeah, so I'm excited for it. And the fact that they're gonna have John motherfucking Cena coming in this franchise now.
Playing his brother.
I have something about that.
They have to have some scene, if not in this movie, even as an end credit scene, they have to have something where you have The Rock and John Cena in a scene together. That would just be the epitome of my wrestling nerddom. Just like, we made it, boys.
Okay, so two things. Number one, I mentioned this during my live stream, and I want to bring up two things that I mentioned during that, and it's this. I think they're going to put a joke about John Cena. You can't see me in this way. I think John Cena's face isn't the brother's actual face. I think it's a graph that he gets put on so he looks like John Cena. So the brother, because it doesn't make any sense for him to be Dom is Hispanic. So how the fuck is this white boy looking motherfucker just? So that's why I think it's literally a face graph. It's literally a face graph to look like John Cena. The second thing, the second thing about this is the cast has been updated. So not only are the cast that we've already seen in there, we have Sean Boswell coming back. Bow Wow's in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Francis Ngannou was in this movie. Michael Rooker. And of course, because I know the song is coming, Cardi B is in this movie.
Oh man, she's gonna have a cameo though.
Exactly.
But I guarantee you, the lead song for this movie is her song.
No, I wouldn't say, because like in Fast and Furious 6, Rita Ora had a cameo and it was one scene.
Yeah,
and that was it. It was just the fact that
That's true. But let's think about this from this standpoint: Rita Ora, Cardi B.
It depends on what they're going for. I mean, I can't say I would go for a Cardi B song when you've literally had a Wiz Khalifa song that was nominated for an Oscar.
It's Cardi B, and then you also have Ozuna, who is a Puerto Rican singer. So I can see them doing that and putting her song on there as the lead song.
It could happen. I mean, if they do, I'm not. That's not gonna make me not go to the movie and see it.
For sure. But like, I'm not gonna go see it whatsoever. I think this movie has hit the point of this movie has jumped the shark, went under it, and is now in the orbit of the fucking shark.
The thing is, that's the beauty of it, because it is just movie schlock, but it's at least well made. It's at least well made.
That's a good way of putting it.
Like in the last one, I don't know if it was the last one. They just start running together after 5. But when Dom is like having all the cars in the parking lot just fall onto him, and nobody dies. Nobody, no innocent bystanders, nobody dies. Or Dominic's car can take on 6 other cars just because he has a muscle car and it's an American muscle car. Like it's gotten to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm not even gonna try to point out shit. I'm just give me. The Rock literally pushed a torpedo away with just his bicep.
Right, because that works.
I'm out. I'm good.
Is it 5 when they save Letty? Because it's 4 is when they find out Letty's alive.
4 they find out she's dead at the end of 5 in the end credit scene. That's when we find out she's alive. 6 is when they go and get her and all that bullshit.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I didn't see 4.
So when he jumps across the fucking highway and catches her in the middle of the movie, I go, bullshit in the middle of the movie. I was like, bullshit.
My thing is, okay, even if you do that, bro, your white tee gonna get a little dirty.
Dog,
like that white tee.
That was the part. Wait. I'm sorry. That was the part where you said bullshit. The bullshit part was literally later in that same film. Was it that film or was it the next one?
The runway.
No. The next one at the end of the film where Jason Statham's character and Dom are in the fucking parking lot. They drive
Oh,
the
yeah.
cars direct to each other. They both jump out, which I don't know how. I don't know if you know how cars work, but they somehow snake their way out and went spear first and basically collide. Like they should be dead. Like everyone should get to like, what happened? Well, there are two limp bodies over there. There's a car crash over there. Yeah, niggas is dead.
And in that same scene,
There was no head. There was no head collision.
Dom just happens to have a 3.5-foot wrench just in his car, just sitting in his car. Mind you, it's not mangled. It's none of that shit. It's just perfectly cold.
Perfect condition. That's that cast iron. That's that cast iron.
That's what I enjoy about the Fast and Furious. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. Just entertain.
Okay, I'm gonna go with another movie for my pick, and my movie is the Snyder cut of Justice League. I'm just kidding. I had to do this just to get in the lead. My movie is the Eternals. I am looking forward to this property probably more than Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness for next year. If Doctor Strange 2 was coming out this year, that would have been my most anticipated Marvel movie. Black Widow isn't so much anymore because I'm gonna go see Black Widow. But that movie should have came out last year for my concern. Spider-Man, I haven't seen any trailers yet for that, so I can't really judge the movie's gonna be good or not. Well, I know it's gonna be good, but I haven't seen anything about it yet. Eternals, from the cast alone, it makes no sense how good this movie is. And this movie I think, unfortunately, this movie is going to get the most backlash from people that are not for diversity in comics. Because, for one, you have an African-American woman who is deaf, playing a deaf character, and Lauren Ridloff. Brian Tyree Henry's character is a black man who is an inventor that's helped technology throughout the ages, but he's also the first openly gay character in the MCU. So he's the first openly gay superhero in a movie, period. You have an extremely, like in any superhero movie that's come out in the US, has there ever been an openly gay superhero ever?
Nope.
No,
it's hard to find one.
If there is, if you're on the YouTube, please put it in the comments and let us know.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Podcast form, just add us.
Yeah,
I don't believe this. I mean, they made a big deal out of Endgame when one of the Russo brothers was in there, and they was saying like,
but that was a character. That wasn't like a superhero.
But they labeled it like it's the first gay character in a superhero movie. So it's one of those things. Like it has.
That was a surprise to hear him say that too. When he said him, I'm like, okay.
But I'm looking forward to just the cast of this. The casting in this movie is absolutely amazing, and the fact that we still don't know who the villain is really interesting, because it could be anyone of this in this cast. It could be the Eternals, or it could be the Black Knight played by Kit Harington. Based on the Eternals book that just came out this past Wednesday, if you're listening to this, Thanos is a big villain for the Eternals. You could bring in a younger Thanos or his brother or his son as a villain, because they have had runs in with his family. So I think this movie is going to be interesting, and the fact that Marvel is like, okay, look, we know we have Black Widow coming, we know Spider-Man's in development, all that other stuff, but Eternals is done. It's been done for a year, and they won't show anything off of this movie. There's not been
They know they're taking a risk on this one because, like you said, other than Thanos, there's nobody that we've ever seen before in the MCU in this film, and that we're not even have a guarantee that we're going to get Thanos. So this is like their next Guardians of the Galaxy, to where they're taking. I
wouldn't even say Guardians, because Guardians felt okay. So to me, Guardians is Marvel's answer to Star Wars.
Well, they want it to be their answer to Star Wars.
Yeah, but I think the Eternals, especially if you read the books, the Eternals is Marvel's answer to Game of Thrones, because there's a lot of, and they tried to do that. They tried to get that with Inhumans, but they dropped the ball with that. Inhumans
dropped the ball.
Yeah, Inhumans. Oh, put it like this.
They dropped the ball, and then then they accidentally picked it up. Then somebody hit them again, and they took a shit on themselves.
No, they dropped the ball.
Then they got stuffed on their neck and died.
And
if you told me right now that Inhumans was going to be a Disney Plus TV show, I would buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Kevin Feige was put in charge of it and he could do it in a Inhumans TV show, based off what we're seeing, based on what we're hearing with WandaVision, Loki, and all the other movies, all the shows, then yeah. But
the reason I'm good is because the reason we got real quick. So the reason that we got, for people that don't know, the reason we got the Inhumans was because Marvel didn't have the license to X-Men. They were still owned by Fox, and there was no talk of a merger back then. So because one hand didn't know what the other hand was doing, Marvel TV was doing stuff. Marvel movies were headed by two different people, Ike Perlmutter and Kevin Feige. So now, fuck you. So now you had Inhumans show.
I had to cut you off, Chaos. I had to cut you off, Chaos. 41-23.
Whatever. That ain't gonna happen. But yeah, so you had Inhumans TV show by Ike Perlmutter, and you had Marvel proper films by Kevin Feige. They completely shit the bed because the Inhumans, even in the comics, they're trying to position them to be the new X-Men, and it just doesn't work because their story for
Terrigenesis was literally killing the mutants.
Yeah, and they did that on purpose because Disney did not want to give any promo to anything that was not owned by them. So that's why they canceled the Fantastic Four comic book back in 2015. That's why they slowly start canceling the X-Men books over the past few years. And they started positioning the Inhumans as the new big, mutant, non-human faction.
If you've noticed recently in the comics, because now Feige controls movies, TV, and comics, the Inhumans are nowhere to be found.
Because honestly, for one, there's different X-Men comics tied to the Fantastic Four.
Maybe they're not all.
There's well, no, it's down to 4. It's down to 4. So it's X-Men, Hellions, the Marauders, X-Force, and Alpha Flight.
Okay.
And the thing is, the Inhumans are interesting.
It's also Sword as well.
The Inhumans are interesting, but then there's nothing they really do that is that much tangentially different than
the only Inhuman that's getting any pub right now is Miss Marvel, and
Kamala Khan.
And they just relaunched Eternal's new book, and their book, the first issue, is amazing. I highly suggest you read that, because if that's how they're going to explain where the Inhumans have been in the MCU, it further expands how the Eternals. I'm not the Inhumans, the Eternals. It further expands how big the Marvel universe is just on Earth alone. Because if you're telling me, oh, the Eternals have been hiding in split space of Earth the entire time and no one's noticed them, I'm fine with that. So the Eternals is something I'm looking forward to, especially if you can spread these characters throughout different movies, especially Black Knight. He's one hell of a character. And I think that was a perfect casting to put Kit Harington as that. Coming from Game of Thrones over to this, it's pretty much the exact same thing with Jon Snow, minus the, fucking your cousin.
Fucking your uncle. Your aunt. Well, yeah. Or fucking your brother. My bad. Fucking your sister.
The show's been out long enough. Trust me.
So Zero, what is yours? So before he fucking for me, what is your next one? You've had enough time to look now.
I already knew this, so don't disrespect me. But Young Rock, actually. I saw some promo for it.
Just saw it just 5 minutes ago.
No. I actually
I am calling bullshit because I'm watching NBC and it just came on.
I'm not watching NBC. It's actually on the Disney Channel. I swear to God. I remember seeing some stuff on the internet. And I was like, why does that look like The Rock? And then when I went to look for it,
just a tan, bald, mulatto type gentleman.
Yeah, the first teaser of it literally shows his father and a younger him working out in the gym. It's like,
yeah. So I was like, what the fuck? So I went and investigated more, and it was like, yeah, I got a TV show coming out, and I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, that's definitely something I would want to see. Like his life.
In all honesty, with WWE being a part of Peacock and NBC Universal, it makes sense for them to do this, and that could put some more content on their app as well. So
Mm-hmm. So
It
there's
could be
not
funny.
much
I
on
think
about.
it'll be funny.
So it's from the same people who's done Fresh Off the Boat, which is hilarious,
Okay.
and Don't Trust the Bitch in Apartment
That show
2033.
was so good, man. That show was
Dog.
so
Yeah, starring Catherine Kristen Ritter and Dawson Creek. What's the dude name?
James Vanderbeek.
James
I'm
Vanderbeek, and then I can't remember the other girl.
I forget. Yeah, it's been a couple of years, but
Yeah.
I remember because that's why I first saw Kristen Ritter. I didn't
Yep.
watch Breaking Bad then, so I didn't see her on
Yeah,
that.
I
So I
didn't.
saw her.
I
Yeah.
saw that first, and then I saw her on Breaking.
I see
Yeah.
what you meant too. Like, cause I'm on season 5 now, and oh man, that was fucked up.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
that was fucked up.
Oh, it was that
But
was low business.
all right,
Low
so it's
business.
on me. So I'll jump back to TV. So many TV shows that are coming out that I
There's
really
so
do
many.
want to
It's
see.
like we could have did like a 5 of TV shows.
And I'm trying not, and I'm trying specifically not to do anything we've talked about before. I'm trying not to say any of the Marvel or Star Wars stuff because that's
Mhm.
just obvious, I guess. So I'm really trying to find something that would really interest me. But I am gonna have to. Well, I'll say this. So it's coming. Shut up. It's coming next, probably in the next few months. If it's going on schedule. The Boys season 3.
Mhm.
I that was one of the best things I saw entirely in 2020. I wish we could have talked about on the show, but not everybody was up on it, so we didn't want to spoil it. But
I
if
have to
you
cut you
haven't,
off for like 1 second.
Mm.
I should have shared this meme with you earlier. There's a meme going around of the main character from The Boys. You know how he's holding the baby and the baby is shooting the eye beams?
Mhm.
They have it where instead of it being the baby, it's Baby Yoda. And he's shooting the eye beams. Someone wrote in the caption, "This is the way." I'm like, yes.
I'm telling you, I can see them. I can honestly see them trying to make fun of that since Baby Yoda has now been popular since they've shot season 2 into season 3. I can see them probably trying to lambast that type of like just pop culture stuff now. So I can see that happening. Real quick, one of the favorite memes I've seen of that is it's in season 1, and Homelander is just running down the whole team, but he looks over at, I think it's Starlight, and he says, "No, you're good." And over the 3 characters who he's just tearing into, it's Solo, Rise of Skywalker, and The Last Jedi. And then the next clip, he's looking over, he's like, "No, but you're cool," and it's the Mandalorian. I'm like, yeah, that's plays. But The Boys is it's damn entertaining, man. It's probably the best R-rated version of anything superhero related you could hope for. It is now become like a real pop culture phenomenon. I did see a lot of people playing as Homelander or as Huey or as Black Noir for Halloween. It's gotten part of the zeitgeist. They have a hella talented cast, man. I mean, you got Carl Urban, you got Anthony Starr, who's in one of my favorite shows, The Last Decade Banshee. You have Dennis Quaid's son. I forget his first name, but he's Dennis Quaid's son. He's really great in it. You have Laz Alonso in it. So I mean, it's just incredibly talented. Sorry, you also have the greatest character actor living right now, in Giancarlo Esposito, in that, also known as Moff Gideon, also
And the
known as
fact that they
Gus.
were using the fact that they were using his line this week talking about black people versus white people in riots, that was so spot on. I'm like, well, damn.
Yeah, it was real spot on.
So I mean, The Boys it's something. It's on Amazon Prime. It's one of the probably the marquee TV shows that's available on Amazon Prime. Where if you have not had Prime, you would get Prime just to watch this. It's incredibly it's incredibly funny, incredibly talented cast. A good story. It is funny in ways you should not be laughing, because there are certain things that happen and you should not be laughing, and you will laugh. I recommend it very much if you're into dark comedy, black comedy. It's produced by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, the writers and creators of Superbad, Pineapple Express, most of the high stuff you've seen, Your Highness, most of the high stuff you've seen from Seth Rogen. It's produced by him and his writing partner. So if you like that type of black edgy comedy, you're gonna love The Boys. So it's something. Season 2, we were really waiting for. Me and Zero talked about that back in 2019. We were looking forward to it, and it it hit the ground running in 2020. Like they even moved the release date up because of the pandemic to give some people something to watch because we're all going through shit. So The Boys season 3, I cannot wait to see that.
Okay. It's my turn. Something I'm looking forward to in 2021. I am looking forward to, and I'm praying to God this show comes back for this year. They haven't officially announced it coming back, but Castlevania season 4. I so badly need this show to come back. I think there are a lot of anime ending this year alone. I think Attack on Titan season 4 is its final season, and it will wrap up around April of this year. My Hero Academia comes out March 27th. Oh my God, March 20th. That can't get me here anything sooner. You have that, and then the only real big release anime wise is for the other than that is Marvel's What If. Castlevania can be one of the anime that fills in a slot that a lot of anime need right now. Well, anime needs right now, and that show on Netflix is so damn good to where I don't even think it's anime anymore. It's like an actual. It feels like that's the closest we're ever going to get to Castlevania being live action. Castlevania live action would not work for me as a movie. It would have to be a stupidly long show, and they're not going to get that kind of money to it. Castlevania started off as we'll give this 4 episodes and we'll see how it turns out, and maybe people will like it or not. And then I was like, oh shit, this is actually fucking good. Can we get more of that? And then the second season was ridiculously good. The third season has a pacing issue, but it was still one of the best TV shows Netflix has.
Mm-hmm.
And of Netflix's animation, what they've done so far is their best. I don't think anything Netflix has done is as good as Castlevania. If this leads
That's
off
high praise.
I'm being honest. The Dragon Prince is the closest we're gonna get to a Legend of Korra / At Last Airbender sequel, but that is in pale comparison to Castlevania. Castlevania was just dope the second you started watching. You're like, oh, this isn't kiddie Castlevania. This is like the Castlevania I remember growing up as a kid. It's bloody, it's dark. It felt new, even though if you play Castlevania, you know the story already. It felt new because you were getting both perspectives. You were getting why Dracula was doing this. You were getting how Belmont didn't really want to even be a part of the war and got dragged into it. How Alucard is now a part of this. All the other characters, and then the second season expanded on that even further by bringing in the vampire community, and now we get to learn how Camille is in this, how the other characters that have been in other Castlevania games that have been heroes. The young guy that's in Castlevania that ends up being the dupe for season 2 and 3 is an actual main character in one of the Castlevania games. I'm waiting to see, like, if they just said we're not going to do Belmont next season and we're just doing his story where he escapes and becomes the hero that he needs to be, I'm perfectly fine with that. They've made this show very much like their I'm trying to think of the word. Their Clone Wars in a sense. Like Clone Wars is such a huge phenomenon. That's what this is for them. And especially if it leads up to a Devil May Cry spinoff, that'd be even doper.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, so I know we want to kind of steer away from the Marvel stuff, but I can't help it. I'm really interested in seeing Shang-Chi. And and most people might not expect me to say that, but the reason why I'm interested in looking at new properties from Marvel, I want to be excited about something new. And a lot of those new properties, like granted, Black Widow is new for the movies. We haven't had that. Tesla already said Eternals. Now I don't know why I tried to change it. Eternals. But yeah, Shang-Chi is different. It's a way different property. We're gonna get a real Mandarin in this.
Finally.
And I hope they carry some of that lore from Iron Man 3 with the what it was like the bonus video at the end.
Yeah. All Hail the King.
Yeah, All Hail the King. That they kind of do a small nod, but nothing like super serious. But it just been, and just from like the main actor, he's been like on his shit about promoting the movie and everything about it, about how it was like a predominantly black. I mean, not black. That was Black Panther, a predominantly Asian film. Most of the cast, most of the people who worked on the set was all Asian. And mine for me being somebody that's really big about equality and people having representation, it's a big deal for me. But but generally, just the movie itself, just it being a branding property. I'm excited about new properties. Just like seeing something different, and even in old properties that we've seen that might be coming back. I'm interested in seeing like new stuff because we know what Marvel's bread and butter is, but it's time to like, okay, show me something new. And
I really want to see too.
I'm excited about that.
If they can do good fight choreography like they did in Agents of Shield, that's really exciting because I think Agents of Shield, especially a lot of times when it came to the Ming Na Wen character, Melinda May Calvary, when they would do a lot of her fight scenes, they would be the best hand-to-hand combat I would see on TV.
She
Like it
was so
like
good of a
them and
character,
Arrow.
and they put her in the comic.
Yeah,
They hardly
like
clipped
she's a
her ass.
badass.
Yeah,
Like so if they use that type of because I think I think it
her
was
and
season
Phil,
3.
her and Phil. Yeah, they put them in.
I think it was season 3 where she had the where she first went against her doppelganger, and they had a fight scene in a hotel room. That fight scene could have been in any blockbuster movie. Like that's when I really started looking at the way they did their fight choreography. So the fact that it's gonna be basically a kung fu movie too, I'm happy with that because I know they wanted to really do a lot of that with Iron Fist, but because the actor wasn't able to get over there to start shooting for I think like a couple weeks before they started shooting, he really didn't go through a lot of the fight choreography. So that's where if you watch Iron Fist season 1, when it comes to his fight scenes, you see a lot of quick cuts in the camera. You don't really see a lot of long takes like you did with like Daredevil.
No, because that's was when he got the role.
Cool.
He was still working on Game of Thrones. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
So he came like straight from Game of Thrones to it.
Yeah, so if they can now have like long take action scenes, given like a throwback to like Bruce Lee type action movies, like Jackie Chan movies, like that'll be really dope and something you've never seen in the MCU. I mean, we're used to seeing flying through the sky and some stuff, some close quarter stuff with Cap, but to see like long take karate Kill Bill type action stuff, that'll be completely cool to see that in the MCU now.
Get the fuck out of here! I did not know that. So the person they have hired on as a cinematographer for the movie is Bill Pope, and that name is familiar because he worked on The Matrix. And if they're doing that for the cinematography for the fight scenes, like even in Matrix, like there was no Asian representation in that, but the fight scenes in that were pretty damn crisp for the time that they were in. If you're doing for Shang-Chi, especially if it's shot in actual locations, this movie is gonna be fucking amazing. Like I think everyone on the team, the cast wise, went through fight choreography. Like
they were super excited about their movie and very proud of it. So that makes me happy to like, okay, it's a Marvel film. All the actors and actresses and everybody on the film are super excited about it. So that definitely made me excited about the movie.
And again,
all right, let's go on
that they held back, and the fact they held both this and Eternals back, and we're like, we're not going to put these out. We're not even going to show anything off from these. These stay in the pocket.
And the thing is, like, we've seen like toys for Eternals. You haven't seen anything from Shang-Chi.
Nope. The only thing we saw from Shang-Chi was like a jacket, and even then, it was like, eh. So Chaos.
All right, so I'm gonna jump over to movies.
Number 4.
I am extremely excited to see the next Mission Impossible film, Mission Impossible 7. I've been a huge fan of this series since I was 11 when the first film came out. I'm a Tom Cruise fan. I think this is one of the most underrated film series out there. I mean, granted, it's just going into a 7th film, but when you look at this series from the first Mission Impossible film to the most recent one in Mission Impossible Fallout, it has progressively gotten better every single film. Yes, Mission Impossible 2 is probably the worst of the entire series, in my opinion, but it was still a step up from the first one because a lot of people don't realize, especially in the first Mission Impossible film, that was just an old school 70s inspired spy thriller where Tom Cruise did not even shoot a gun in that entire film. A lot of people forget that. Like, he did not actually fire a gun in that film. It was basically all dialogue, and then the scene in the the vault that everybody knows, and the end climax with a helicopter on the train. Then the second film, you got John Woo to come in and make a John Woo film that just so happened to have Tom Cruise in it. Horrible plot. And then in the third one, you get J.J. Abrams and his first directorial debut, and that one was a step up. Then you got Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which established the new tone for the series to where they were doing the big budget, actual Tom Cruise risking his life stunts where he's climbing the Burj Khalifa. Then you get Rogue Nation.
I don't get how they allow him to do that.
It's Tom Cruise, man. It's Tom Cruise. Dude got juice. He got juice. Then you got Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. He's on the side of a plane, and he did going up. I think they said they took about 16 or 17 different takes of that. So he was strapped to that plane going up 16, 17 different times. And then you got the most recent one, Fallout, which is my favorite one, and in my opinion, one of the 10 greatest action films of all time. And it's also the first time that you've had the same director, Christopher McQuarrie, who's an amazing director and amazing writer, come back because Tom Cruise loved what he did with it. You had the continuation, because if you start watching from Mission Impossible 4 on, it's now its own mini trilogy. So now you have this next one coming out. It's got bringing back a lot of the main cast. It's also adding in.
Is Paula Patton back?
Huh?
Did they get Paula Patton back?
I think she's gonna make a cameo. I think she said she's making. She's not gonna be a main character, but she's gonna make a cameo. What is her fucking name? Haley Atwell.
MI7, right?
Yeah, Haley Atwell. She's gonna be a new character, which I think that's really cool because he's really starting to elevate other talent. Because other than if you never saw Man from U.N.C.L.E., the only thing you really knew Henry Cavill for was Superman.
I still gotta watch that.
Yeah, it's amazing. That to me is like the two best things he's done. I mean, granted, I think he's a great Superman, but the best of his abilities that I've seen, granted, I haven't seen the Witcher yet, is Man from U.N.C.L.E. and in Mission Impossible Fallout. But the fact this is just
his more lower budget films that weren't too bad. But
yeah,
they were all like action espionage stuff too. Mm-hmm. Like because he got one with Bruce Willis. Really,
he's also Palm Clementliff is in the movie as well, but her character isn't that's not explained as to who she's playing yet.
Yeah, I don't know if she's almost like I think she's probably gonna have like a more of a bit part, like in the previous film Fallout, Vanessa Kirby, who is an incredibly talented actress. She had more of a bit role, and I think she's coming back also.
She is, yeah.
Because they really the one thing they really started looking at starting with Rogue Nation is they're now able to start referencing themselves in their films because they've been going for so long. So just as a spoiler, if you've never seen Mission Impossible Fallout, you should. Vanessa Kirby's character is the daughter of the character Max that Tom Cruise met in the first film, the female arms broker. Vanessa Kirby is her daughter. So they're actually now able to reference themselves in this series. And like I said, it's progressively gotten better. The big stunt rumor for this film is there's a huge motorcycle jump that leads into a parachute stunt that Tom Cruise did himself, and he actually dove from space. He did a halo jump from space.
Fuck him. No.
So it's just progressively getting crazier. I have so much respect for
the Fast 9 levels. It's getting the Fast 9 levels. It really is.
But the thing is, he's doing the shits himself. That's what I appreciate. Like Vin Diesel's ass ain't in that damn.
I feel like Vin Diesel is looking at Mission Impossible and is like, well, shit. Now we gotta do shit in space too.
Shit, family, me familiar.
So
you took my son into space.
I know someone's gonna pick the Suicide Squad eventually in this list.
No, really? We only have two left.
I wouldn't put money on that shit.
So I'm gonna pick a movie that I'm looking forward to that a lot of people are, and that is The Green Knight.
Ooh.
This movie it's a fantasy film. It's starring Dev Patel, Alicia Vikander, Joel Edgerton, Sean Harris, and Ralph Ineson. It's based on the poem Sir Gawain and The Green Knight. The first trailer for this movie is incredibly dark. Like, it's incredibly dark, and it looks really, really good. Dev Patel I know he got a lot of hate for what he did with Avatar, or the movie we shall not speak of. But after that, him and Chappie, him in the newsroom, the man who knew Infinity, Lion, he is a damn good actor. And to see him play this role, to have someone of his caliber playing this young role, is the film's premise. I'm gonna look at what it's saying right here. It's saying this, it's telling the story of Sir Gawain, King Arthur's headstrong nephew, who embarks on a quest to confront the Green Knight, a gigantic green-skinned stranger. Is based on a comic book. So I'm sorry, a poem rather, and it's being done by A24. A24 does dark medieval.
They do great films.
And just if the first, like, if this movie was supposed to come out last year, this movie from its first trailer looked really, really good, and I was interested in going to go see this. And I'm not a big A24 opening night fan. Like, I will see, I watch the movies once they come out on Blu-ray or digital release.
They're one of the few studios though. When I see their logo, I actually I start paying attention.
Like, this might be something worth watching. But I think this is going to be a really, really good film. And just from the poster itself looks like an album cover. Like it looks. So
I'm looking at it now. I could see Drake having this on his next album.
Drake, Big Sean, a Kendrick kind of album. But I'm looking forward to this film. I think it's going to be good. And it'll be one of the films. I think we never addressed this. With theaters going the way they're going now, I think a lot of movies are going to start selling out to Netflix and Amazon. I think you're going to have Amazon and Netflix start becoming a service where they can premium access movies. I think the more this virus, the more this pandemic keeps going. Pandemic, Panorama, Panoscope, Panini,
Living Hell.
Panty Raid. The more this keeps going, by the way, if you listen to Bridget Kelly's podcast on Joe Budden Network, you know what we're talking about with the whole panorama thing.
See, the thing, that's why I looked at you. I was like, I know exactly where you got that from.
I love that 21. But I think we're going to move toward that with Disney Plus, Hulu, and all these other streaming services basically premiere accessing movies. That's going to happen. And
all right, so
who knows?
All right, so I'm, as the older I've gotten, I've really been into more like, I've always been in action movies, but I've been more into scary movies. I'm not like too much into like gore, but I do like a real good scary movie with suspense. So my next pick is not Candyman, sir, because I know you're like shitting bricks over there. You like freaking,
I know which one you're gonna say too.
It is Spyro from the Book of Saw. That is what I'm looking forward to.
That's
you know what?
Yeah.
When I was looking at the list, I'm like, nah.
That is this year. Fuck.
That's supposedly supposed to come out May 21st.
Man. And see, thing is, I real quick, I hope shit is somewhat normal again, because that's something you guys see in the movie theater, man. Like, look, especially because it's gonna be an end credit type shit. It's gonna be a Saw super reveal. Seeing them shit in the theater.
Samuel Jackson is in the movie, so you're gonna get a motherfucker dropped. Chris Rock is in the movie.
You know what's funny? He almost did one today, actually.
You did? You said what?
Samuel Jackson almost did a motherfucker drop today. They had him do the lead up for the Ravens versus the Titans game.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it's the playoffs, mother, and it cut off. On Disney, ABC, and Freeform. And it was I'm like, did he just say motherfucker on national TV?
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be really, really good. It looks like
it looks more suspenseful. It doesn't look like it's more like mystery. It doesn't look like it's a big
the same director who did 2, 3, and 4 is directing this film.
Okay.
So this was supposed to come out last year, May 15th, but it got put on the shelf, of course. But yeah, I'm really interested to see this. If I can rent out AMC to see this, I definitely will.
$90. It's
like $100 $100 for that to rent out a theater, I would
That's
definitely rent it
that's
out
$10
for
a
the group.
person. Shit, if you
I
can
mean,
get at least 10 people.
fuck
I
it. I mean, for the podcast, we can do it.
I
We
literally
can
saw
roll.
a TikTok of
Fucking
someone
go.
who literally he rented out a theater for an AMC theater for $90 and was playing Smash Brothers all damn night in there.
Oh, I mean, that would be lit too. That'd be lit.
Oh, that would be a good first Twitch episode for the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be lit. That'd be lit. Go
I'd have to
ahead.
get a fucking.
Number 5.
I'd have to get a Switch like y'all niggas know. But so I'm gonna go with a TV show, and I'm in between two of them. I really want.
You want to pick one of the Marvel shows. You want to pick one of the Marvel shows.
No, I made a promise to myself that I was not going to go with any Marvel movies or TV shows on my list because that's just assumed that I do that. I'm going to do one if you know me, and if the first lady of the podcast, La, was on the episode, she knows what I'm about to say. Rick and motherfucking Morty season 5, baby. Wubba lubba dub dub. That is my jam. That is my jam. Is my I've said it for years. My two favorite TV shows, bar none, for the last 5-6 years are in order: Rick and Morty, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Shows you what type of person I am. But them's my shits. I'm a diehard Rick and Morty fan. I watch at least 3 to 4 episodes every week. It is my favorite pop culture phenomenon. I've gotten at least 5 or 6 people into Rick and Morty and made them become diehard fans. I got La into it. I got my ex-girlfriend, the bitch. I got her into it.
Wow.
My former co-host Devin. I got him into it. Also got him into Star Wars too.
Oh, there's so much shade in here.
I've gotten so many people into Rick and Morty, and everybody becomes a diehard Rick and Morty fan. Like it's like a cult. Like if you either are not a Rick and Morty fan or you get into it and you are a diehard Rick and Morty fan. I'm even getting another friend into it right now, and I'm slowly letting them get into it. I'm like, no, well, season 1, it has some good episodes, but wait until season 2. That's when it kicks off. Then when you see Pickle Rick, you will be indoctrinated into the Rick and Morty.
Pickle Rick doesn't make any sense, but it's still so damn good.
That is a pop culture phenomenon. And the thing that came 2 episodes after Szechuan sauce. That shows you how crazy it was. Szechuan sauce was episode 1 of season 3.
I'm sorry, but you keep omitting the funniest episode of Rick and Morty, period. And it's the president episode. The episode where president wants a selfie. That is the funniest shit I have ever
I'll be honest with you. That is probably in the top 5 episodes I watched the most. Season 3
just that
10.
monologue of him and the president arguing back and forth.
He's not a fucking god. You don't know who I am. You don't know what I can do. I can be Doctor Who in this motherfucker.
Doctor Who in this motherfucker.
The fact that
was the blackest thing he's done in the show so far. Or
that episode
until he wrote a dragon and listened to the mask off.
It is the greatest thing of this like late 10s pop culture. Like it's that and the other show I was going to mention, Stranger Things. They are just immediately tapping into the zeitgeist. Like it is for older millennials like us. It is the perfect thing that just celebrates a lot of stuff that we know and love. It is tightly written. I mean, it's by the creator of Community, Dan Harmon, and Justin Roiland, who does the voices of Rick and Morty. Just seeing it's one of those things. Like I honestly will spend actual money to buy the DVD box sets just so I can have them as a hard copy in case anything happens to my internet. I cannot wait for it. Like I actively waited for the season 4 premiere. I made sure I called off. I changed my schedule for work the next day because I knew it was going to be running late and I didn't want to get up that early. So it is season 5 comes with a lot because season 4 was divisive.
Yeah.
It did have a mid-season split in between the episodes, 5 and 5, which I think kind of hurt it. I know some shows that helps. This one I think kind of hurt it. I think the second half is not as strong as the first half. I still love them, but it's something I cannot wait for. So Rick and Morty season 5, it's got a lot on it, but I think they're gonna continue to ride this wave and be the next pop culture thing that we look back on in a couple years?
So I, unlike Zero, refuse to make any promises about Marvel TV shows because my show involves Rick and Morty in a certain degree, and my show is Loki. I am waiting for that show more than anything else. I know WandaVision drops next Friday. I'm going to watch the fuck out of that.
By the way, real quick, we're doing recaps for that, right?
We have to. I think the first two
Yeah,
episodes drop next Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will have enough time to be able to do it. We'll figure it out, even if it's just
even if it's doing
YouTube
doing like a half-hour recap show.
Yeah,
I think we should just throw that in there.
I can't wait to see how that show's gonna turn out. I'm looking forward to seeing WandaVision. Falcon and Winter Soldier drops on my birthday week. But when they showed off Loki, I'm like, yes. The fact that this show only has
President Loki clip, man, when he's in the suit.
The fact that this show has 6 episodes, they've already shot, they've shot WandaVision, they've shot Falcon Winter Soldier, and they shot Loki. The fact that they've only come out and said, oh, Loki has a second season. They haven't said shit about WandaVision or Falcon Winter Soldier. The fact that this show has 2 seasons we know we're gonna get, and they didn't really show off much for Loki. They showed off like tidbits.
I think they did say the majority of stuff we've seen from WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki is in the first half of their seasons. Like I know Feige he's old school Spielberg, Nolan, where he doesn't want you to see any of the big stuff to spoil it. So the fact that if that's true, that everything we've seen from these 3 shows is just from the first halves of their seasons, my God, these are going to be amazing.
And the fact that Loki has that Rick and Morty, has that Doctor Who vibe. I need this show to be everything. I need to see Old Man Loki. The fact that we're getting Richard E. Grant. Richard E. fucking Grant is playing old Loki. The fact that the rumors of us getting a female Loki. The fact that this cast is primarily African American. The fact that
Google I'm not gonna mispronounce
Google and Bathara. Who else is in this cast? Sophia DiMartino, Sasha Lane, Wumni Mosako.
Owen Wilson. Wow.
Here's the thing. Owen Wilson doesn't look any different. They just literally just dyed his hair white and he looked older.
He looked no. You know, when I first saw him, okay, so if you guys have seen Breaking Bad, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Jesse's sponsor. When I saw that at first, I thought that was that actor. I think he was on Taxi or he's on Dear John. He's a character actor. He's been around for 50 years. But when I first saw that, I thought that was him until the camera kind of tilted. I'm like, damn, that's a big ass nose. That's Owen Wilson.
But here's the thing. When they dropped that Disney Investors Day meeting, which we still have not fully covered yet because it's ridiculous to cover that thing. They dropped so many TV shows. At the next season of Atlanta, Always Sunny. We're getting a Ridley Scott, Noah Hawley Aliens TV show, Shogun, all this other shit. And they said, oh, here's Loki. Nigga, what? Like, I can't get over, like, Loki's an acid trip. Loki is going to be a what the fuckery show. Like,
and I think that's the good thing about it, because WandaVision is your introduction, because it was always been the first thing that they were going to drop. So that still had to restrain itself to where it didn't alienate new viewers. Falcon and Winter Soldier, that one's more of a diehard show because Captain America became his own brand, which they really didn't think about until Winter Soldier showed that you could do a ground-based hero and do a compelling story. So
I like how they did the Legends on Disney Plus.
That was pretty. That was pretty cool.
That's like pretty much to say, like, hey, if you haven't watched these movies, this is where this character's been up until this point.
And Loki, you can just be crazy with the shit because it's Loki.
Yeah.
And if we're being completely honest with the way Loki is going to open the doors for them to do more of the other sides of Marvel that we don't get to cover, and they don't have to spend a film's budget to do it. Loki looks like, just from the budget wise, it looks like it's the budget of an FX show. It doesn't look like it's a huge budget, but it's still enough budget where they're still doing the normal CGI, all that kind of stuff. But if you're telling me that with them building these 4 different studios that Mando was based off of how they shot Mando, if they can have a roundabout schedule of doing Star Wars and Marvel and some of their Disney live animation stuff on those slots with 4 of them, Loki is going to definitely bring in the weirder side of Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm saying this now, and I want to put this out here. If somehow we get a frog version of Thor pop up anywhere, I am going to lose my shit.
I think you have to, because the two things I've always been waiting for with Thor is Frog Thor and Beta Ray Bill. I'm a big Beta Ray Bill fan. I love Beta Ray Bill.
And especially if you're reading the comic books now with Feige doing everything he's doing with Thor, just look up Donald Blake.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
And nigga,
the last like 6 years, they have truly turned Thor into a marquee character in the comics. Like, his stories have been legit some of the top 10 best comic stories of the last 6 years.
Again, Jason Aaron's run is I've said this before. Jason Aaron's run might be the best comic book story of Thor I've read since Frank Miller's Dark Knight.
He is the definitive writer for Thor, because everything he's done with the God Butcher saga, with Lady Thor, with King Thor, everything he has done has been truly epic to the character, and it's actually made the character relevant. Because for a long time, it was like Tony Stark used to say, you wearing your mom's drapes and speaking of doing Shakespeare in the Park. How is that compelling?
I will say this.
Made him truly compelling.
I will say this: as good as Jason Aaron's run, and Jason Aaron is as a writer and artist, Donny Cates is catching up with him. Donny Cates has done Venom, and he's currently doing Thor now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's catching up in a way that I didn't think was possible this quick. Like, Venom was like, oh, this is Venom, it's cool. But then he took over Thor. I'm like, oh fuck, he can do any kind of writing. Bet, cool. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to Loki. Loki makes no sense how good they showed up 30 seconds. It's like, who is that? Who the fuck is that? Why are we here? Why is there a bombed out version of New York where the Avengers Tower is leaning the fuck over? I need context of all of this.
Is that Black Widow? Is that Black Widow right there?
Someone actually said that might actually be female Loki, which that'd be.
I've seen that. I saw Nerdist. They did a video on it, and they kind of said, I'm like, that probably plays. Because I can't see a way you bring Natasha back, but yeah. What about you, Zero?
Going back to the CW, I would say the Flash. And the reason why I say the Flash is because the way it ended. It ended where half the season wasn't done because of COVID, or whatever percentage of this. I want to say maybe like 75%, 25% of the season was not done because of COVID. So they got all of that part, and where they ended it, it wasn't happy-go-lucky. Barry did not, like, I guess, disappear into the Speed Force again or something like that. It was like a true issue that they have to deal with next season. Like, consequences happen. And it wasn't like, okay, we can figure this out. You got to figure, like, okay, Mirror, I guess it's Mirror Woman, not Mirror Man. She's really caused issues. Mirror Mistress, who I don't even know if they gave her a name, but I know she's supposed to be like Mirror Man, but a woman, since the universe has changed or whatever the case may be.
Which I actually called out in like one of the first episodes of the DC TV Multiverse podcast, throwback, that Mirror Master is one of the best villains that they really never did anything with, because he's fucking cold.
And then you got whatever's happening with Iris, because she has abilities now, which are probably gonna be temporary, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm really interested where it goes to finish off last year's season, and then going into the next season. So it should be really nice how they,
and also to see how they write out Ralph and Sue Digby, because they fired Hartley from his old tweets. So that was a main character.
They're not writing him out. They're just gonna change the way he looks. And then they're gonna probably like kind of scoot him off to the side, but he's still gonna be in. They're just changing who it is. I mean, he can change his face at any point. So
that's actually a good way to do it, because I've always said he's a good character as Plastic Man or Elongated Man, to where he could be the hero of his own show. I mean, those powers are cool.
Elongated Man are two different superheroes, but if you don't know DC, you it wouldn't. You probably think they're the same people. But yeah, that it's not really much to talk about it. But I mean, if you're a fan of, I'm gonna keep calling it the Arrowverse. If you're a fan of the Arrowverse, even though it looks like the Arrowverse is slowly dying, Black Lightning. This is Black Lightning's last season. Even if it wasn't, China McClain and McClain was leaving after the season anyway. She's not even fully in the whole season as it is.
She's not even on the show. She hasn't been show whatsoever on any of your social media.
I mean, they've been done with it, but yeah, she's been done off of there. So whatever the case. I mean, but none of them, honestly, I haven't seen what's her name, who plays Anissa. I haven't seen her do anything either. COVID has made everything
She's
weird.
been doing a lot, but not that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There ain't been no Black Lightning stuff, but
it's caused Black Lightning, but
Lord have mercy. And then I guess I can just run into it, or whatever the case may be. And then honorable mention, I'll say, I'm interested in. I got a couple actually, so I'll run through this real quick. Batwoman, because they changed the main character. For whatever reason, Ruby Rose left.
I'll check it out.
For whatever reason, Ruby Rose left.
Fired.
Left or fired. In her book, she did everything they was supposed to do for that for the character, which is bullshit. Excuse me.
It's not you. It's me.
Whatever the case it is, she's gone. And the story has to take effect because she has left. Because regardless, she decided to abandon the cast or whatever the hell happened. It affects the story dramatically the way it ended from the first season.
Lead title character is gone in the second season.
That's smart.
And they're not making Javicia her character. I can't even remember her name right now. Ruby Rose's character. They're making her a totally different character, which is great.
That's going to be real interesting to see how you do that, man. That's actually why I'm going to tune in for the first couple episodes to see how you can explain this.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. And then my last one, it's a new show. It's based off the comic book called Invincible. So I'm glad to see that.
I forgot about that. That is coming soon.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So
okay.
Let's run through a couple of honorable mentions. We can get out of here.
I'm going to say, for one, the one I'm looking forward to the most, and I can't believe I even skipped this, was the Many Saints of Newark, the Sopranos prequel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
I'm looking at this cast, and I mentioned it during the last stream I did, and I didn't even know this was a prequel to the Sopranos. I really didn't. And reading it now, I'm like, oh shit, this is like Leslie Olsen Jr. in this. That's for one. I'm watching because of him. John Bernthal, Corey Stoll, Michael Gandolfini. they're having his son play Tony in the show.
Really, the actor?
Yes, his son is playing him in the show.
What, Gandolfini's son or Tony Soprano's son?
No, Gandolfini's son is playing him. James Gandolfini's son is playing him in this. He's in Ocean's 8, which I didn't even realize.
He was?
Yeah, he was. Who was he? I'm trying to see if we can find out who he was in Ocean's 8. He was
the only guy.
Oh, he was an extra. He was a busboy. He's also in Cherry, which is gonna be really, really dope. Cherry's another one I'm thinking of. But man, this has Billy Magnuson, John McGarrell, Ray Liotta, Vera Farmiga, Joey Diaz. Like pretty much the core cast coming back for this.
Everybody that's been in anything mob related.
Yeah, pretty much the original cast from this. But it's set during the 60s. And it's talking about Tony's rise. It's a film, but this could be a TV series. And I don't know why HBO is wasting time not making
that shit. Fuck that. Make that a limited series.
Yeah, they should chop that up.
Lakeith Stanfield has a movie coming out. I can't remember the name of it that I want to see.
You talking about the samurai movie?
Huh? No, not that. It was supposed to come out last year.
Which I'm excited about, the samurai movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it is. Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be dope, and that's coming out on HBO Max. That comes out. Oh, that comes out Valentine's Day weekend actually.
Because that's got Daniel Kaluuya in it.
Daniel Kaluuya, Lakeith Stanfield, Jesse Plemons, Martin Sheen, Little Real Howery. Yeah, this is a really good fucking
That's one of the ones I saw the trailer on Facebook and I stopped what I was doing to watch.
Daryl Hadari, Britt Gibson, who played O-Dog in The Wire. Yeah, this got a really good fucking cast. And then of course the Marvel shows. Looking forward to that. My Hero Academia season 5. The My Hero Academia third movie. Bleach is coming back for some weird reason, which I don't know how they're gonna make that fucking work. But because it only really had one arc left and it wasn't a long arc, it was rather short.
It's not, in my opinion, it's not worth animating, but whatever. They go off.
It's not worth animating, especially when you have Burn the Witch available and you can just continue that series.
But the thing is, they're trying to finish it off and never got a finished anime.
Yeah,
and the story got finished.
Yeah, that arc was too damn short to even unless you're making it a movie. It's short.
No, that art was convoluted. That's what it was.
I'm saying like it was still short. It wasn't as long as the other arcs were. The Promised Neverland. I guess
the fucking 1,000-year war. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. The Promised Neverland 2 that's coming out this year. It's a lot of shit.
There's some for me.
Huh?
I'm gonna throw out. I'm gonna throw out a movie. I'm surprised nobody said. I'm gonna throw out a couple movies. Morbius. Was supposed to come out.
I didn't throw out Morbius or Venom 2 because I'm going to go see those regardless. But
right, I'm interested to see. I'm a big fan of Jared Leto. I think the guy's an amazing actor when you give him something great to do. I wanted to see what he could really do with the Joker. I think that extended cameo he got in Suicide Squad really was a disservice to an actor of his caliber.
Oh no, don't forget not just Suicide Squad. He's also in Justice League.
Shit, there's that part. I forgot. I try to block everything with that series out. So I'm interested to see that and to see how it will tie into the greater MCU because you do have the cameo from Michael Keaton's Vulture or somebody that looks exactly like Michael Keaton's Vulture is in the same jumpsuit and speaking the same accent.
I said during my live stream, and I want you guys' opinion on this. Jared Harris' character in the movie is only called his mentor. What if he's the Jackal?
It'd be interesting.
Because
that would be smart.
Everyone originally thought that he was going to be the new Doc Ock, but then once Alfred Molina's coming back for Spider-Man 3, which we haven't talked about that yet, but the fact that would be a really interesting way of him because they wouldn't bring an actor that big in just to be a one-off guy just to get out of here. Especially off of Lawrence Fishburne, all he's done, it'd be kind of weird.
I mean that's one thing that is pretty good for Marvel now. I mean they can bring in a big name actor and you think they're going to get a long run and they just get one big role that they get a big check and put their profile with.
Yeah, but, so you think the Guy Butcher is going to be in more than one movie?
You think Christian Bale is going to sign up to be in 5 or 6 movies every few years?
I think the God Butcher is going to be involved in more of Thor-based.
Remember, we said the same thing about Cate Blanchett, and we thought she was coming back in Endgame. They dropped the ball on that one. The movie I didn't put in my first one that I really probably should have. Uncharted. The movie that is probably going to be the great comic video game to movie hope. If you can do Uncharted,
Mortal Kombat got that. Mortal Kombat got that.
It's really between
Mortal Kombat already had their shot, and they did great in the first one. They shit the bed on the second one.
Technically, Sonic already did it, and technically,
true to form. You know what I mean? Sonic was very good.
Actually, Detective Pikachu did it, and that's an actual video game.
It was those two set the bar so you could do it right. But if you're gonna do a straight adaptation from video game, it's because he's Nathan Drake. He's gonna be going on some type of adventure. He's gonna do some type of parkour. He's gonna do some type of climbing.
Wait, if that's the case, what was wrong with Tomb Raider?
It just didn't.
The newest one?
No, I'm talking about the original one. What was wrong with that?
The issue with Tomb Raider was
off.
The story was just not good. Everything else about the movie was great, but the story was
about to say like
the casting was great. The action was really good, especially for that time.
Were just god awful.
Exactly, it was just convoluted, and then it was just.
I mean,
it tried to get into its own lore. It tried to get into its own lore. To me, it tried to get into its own lore a little too early. You know what I mean? They tried to throw too much. Like if you hadn't seen the games, try to catch up to speed, which it just didn't work for me.
Oh,
And,
we got what's next about this year? I think
one more movie is Ghostbusters Afterlife.
fuck that. That's
I was on if I was doing a podcast back then, it would be on record. But if I find the Facebook comment, I'll tag it in something. I called Ghostbusters 2016 being a complete shit show.
Oh
When I
yeah.
first heard of it, I'm like, I said this. I'm like, why not just call it Female Ghost Hunters? And why call it Ghostbusters? And just try to piggyback off of that 80s nostalgia. And lo and behold, that movie was bad, man. And
Or
I've
just called
watched it.
Busting Ghost, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. In the beginning of the movie, the subtitle ain't there. The end title of the movie, it's there. Like, they couldn't even get the title of the movie like correct in their own film. They tried to do too much ad-libbing with actors that are not good at ad-libbing on camera. They picked wrong actors for those roles. I'm sorry, Leslie Jones did not need to be in that film. Melissa McCarthy is a very acquired taste, and her and Paul Feig have some good films together. That is not one of them. Kate McKinnon did the best. Kate McKinnon did the best. She did the best she could with that material, and I love me some Kate. But damn, Helmsworth, that was an easy check for him. I ain't even mad at that shit. He didn't have to take his shirt off of that shit.
So I have a question for you. This kind of goes back to Uncharted. With Sony saying that they want to do 10 properties, movie and TV going forward, is Uncharted make or break?
It's got a lot on it because it is probably one of their top in the history of Sony entertainment from video games. It's a top 5 property, like that they've done right. They've only done 4.5, technically counting the Lost Legacy. You've done 4.5 games. It's 5 games, but it's continuation. But 4 main title games. You didn't oversaturate, the market with this character. Like God of War. God of War is a great series, but they started putting too many mid-episode video games out there to where it kind of desaturated the market a little bit.
Yeah, they should never went into the past.
Yeah, they did too much. Like they found something great, but they did too much. Uncharted, it's 3, the first 3, then you get the 4th one, then you get Lost Legacy. It's a tight story that has good continuity, characters. It's easy to follow. It's fun to play, fun to look at. Like I've said it before, like when I played the first Uncharted on my TV, I had a 64-inch. My mother came into the room and thought I was watching a movie until I hit the start button. Like the graphics back then were that good, So I mean, it's got a lot on it. Plus, Tom needs something.
Tom has 4 movies coming out this year. Come on now.
But I'm saying all the general public knows him for is Spider-Man. He was a voice in that awful Doolittle film, and then he had the film he had right before he was Spider-Man with Thor when they're on the boat.
Okay.
He needs something. I mean, he's got hella talent. So I hope this makes it because he needs another franchise he can hang his hat on because the guy is talented as shit.
Yeah.
So if he can, and like I've said, I defended this casting when it first came out because everybody thought that Mark Wahlberg, who's playing Sully, should be playing Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 20 years ago, yes. But I'm like, no, now it makes sense to have Tom, who's 23, 24. He can do this role for the next 23 years before it becomes stale. And even with that, we're still getting Indiana Jones films, and Harrison Ford is 78 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he can do this role literally for the rest of his life if he wants to. So it makes perfect sense to just hit the ground running with this one.
Yeah, I understand it. And in all honesty, I would not, before we close up, I wouldn't have started with Uncharted. I would have started with something simple like Killzone. But that's just me.
I think the reason you couldn't do that is if they couldn't get a Halo movie working, it's hard to get a.
They're doing a Halo series, dog. It's coming out this year.
Finally, though, I mean, remember back in the early 2000s, Guillermo del Toro and Peter Jackson both were trying to do that, and they couldn't even get that shit off the ground.
Yeah, I saw the little mini film they had. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah. But yes, unfortunately, it's time for us to say goodbye to you all. This has been a lovely
MICKEY. No, I'm joking.
Oh Lord, this has been a lovely episode 49 of What Kind of Black Nerd Podcast Is This? Next time will be the 50th. 50 of them things.
5 of them, baby. 5-0.
5-0. Fifth. But hopefully by the time we get to the next episode, the world will be somewhat back to normal. I don't know, but try to put some positivity out there.
Shit in one hand, wish in the other. See which one fills up first.
as we always do at this time, I want everyone to give out their social medias and something they're working on that's really important to them, and go from there. So we're gonna start off with Team Kayos. What you got for us?
Thank you. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Team Chaos. You can find new content coming out. I'm trying to have new content coming out weekly for my channel. Experimenting with different videos. Haven't found the right format exactly. So you'll see some movie reviews. I hate y'all. You'll see some movie reviews, some TV
You walked
reviews.
into it.
You'll see some
High
wrestling
five.
stuff. You can also find me. I'm gonna start coming out on more better schedule on WordPress.com. That's Team Chaos. You can find me on Facebook, Kyle J. Campbell, and you can find me as one of your admins on the Wakinda Black Nerdcast is this page and group. Sub to both, and you can find my podcast, which is the same content you'll see on the YouTube, but in podcast form, A World of Chaos on Anchor, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you listen to this great podcast also.
Yeah. Zero.
Damn, I think I need a podcast myself then. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I might do one. I haven't decided. Or work on my Twitch. So I got options. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Clubhouse at the Red Bearded Gent. You can find me on those three at the Red Bearded Gent.
10 points to Slytherin. 10 points to Slytherin.
Thank you, sir.
Clubhouse is a whole trip. We gotta do a whole episode after show about that one day. That's a whole trip.
Yeah, Clubhouse is something else.
Them niggas is toxic, bro.
Nah, man, y'all need to listen to these gems I'm dropping.
That's the problem. Half the niggas ain't dropping gems. Like niggas.
No, they are dropping roaches out of their pockets. That's why I'm on there for specific things, and it's not for all the debauchery and all the other stuff. I got Twitter for that. On Facebook you can find me at Mark McKinney. I'm also one of the admins for What Kind of Black Nerdcast Is This. With another crew of mine, the Blacklist Gaming group, a page that's still alive. I think we might be rejuvenated in 2021. We got some things moving with that, so stay tuned for that. As well as for the YouTube for that, Blacklist Gamers, the YouTube channel for that, and Twitch, like I said before. That's pretty much it for me right now. I got a lot of shit moving. I'm trying to make some money. I'm trying to get money. I'm trying to put money in my friends' pockets. So
get money.
I'm trying to get these beats together. I got a new album coming out in a minute. No, I'm joking.
No, believe that. Like I said,
I'm not trying to step. I am not trying to step on nobody's shoes.
Everybody want to know when the album coming out.
Okay, Jay Electronica.
Charlamagne Gang. All right. Back to you,
Tesla. Y'all got some weird ass names here.
Oh boy.
Like nigga, who is this?
I think we found the bumper.
Yeah, this is it. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, JayTezla, JayTezla. On Bandcamp, JayTezla.bandcamp.com. On
grab
Twitter,
that album. Grab them albums.
Yes, grab them albums while you can, because people are buying the beats and they want to use them for their albums.
That's dope though. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Get them
find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/JayTezla, on YouTube as well. The live streams are there. If you didn't catch the live streams will be on YouTube as well for you to watch them whenever you feel like. We are currently getting ready to do anime and beats dropping next week. So please submit your requests and follow the rules based on what it says on there.
Or he will tell you.
Yes, I will. At this point, I'm not even telling niggas anymore. I'm just deleting their comments. Like I've been deleting niggas' comments. Like, bye. Also,
that's why we made sure that you're not the exact admin on the page, so you didn't do that.
Wow. No, I wouldn't do that on the page. No, not on the page. On my page personally, yes, I would.
But also, shout out to Lou and La, who couldn't be here with us on this episode. Follow their respective pages: Black Girl Marvel and Is She Black or Asian?
And
in their podcast.
And Full Cup. Was it Full Cup or was it? It's a cup of something.
They ain't send me a request, so I don't know.
Two Girls in One Cup. Yeah, you'll find them.
I'm sorry, but that's what I thought that shit was. I looked at
They
it.
were gonna call it that. That's what they told us.
I'm like, really?
They're gonna have
Reaction?
Stuff with that on it. They're gonna have
words
stuff
for
with
us.
that. No, God, no, not a reaction.
That's for their OnlyFans. That's the bumper. You can
didn't say it.
It was right there. I also posted on my JayTezla sports page, WordPress, where should Jay White go next? So if you get a chance, check that out. It's been posted on the Facebook page as well. So please check that out. We're happy you all are here. Hope you are having a better 2021 than you have 2020. Hope you stay with us through 2021. We're going to bring you more exciting content. Peace and much love to you all. This is the way.
Our country is legal. Pray for us.
Holla.
Peace.